Welcome to Building Fortunes Radio. Make sure you check us out at buildingfortunesradio.com. Along with our marketing partners, we're here to help our PM Marketing Network Lead customers build their businesses and make the world a better place. At Building Fortunes, we know how much your business means to you and the people important to you. So spread the word, tell a friend, join our newsletter, and go make a difference in your world. Now on to our show with your host, Peter Mingils.
Hello, everyone. Peter Mingils here. You're listening to us on Building Fortunes Radio. That's www.buildingfortunesradio.com. For all those people that might be unfamiliar with my voice, my name is Peter Mingils. We own this whole radio station. About 6 years ago, I decided that we needed a bigger microphone and a better platform to share really great people doing really great things on home-based businesses. So we started buildingfortunesradio.com. And as a result of that, you can go to buildingfortunesradio.com/live and listen to us when we're live. And you can always dial 347-237-4097. That's the same phone number on all our radio shows. Now, on this radio show specifically, we do this with George Madiou. George owns the Network Marketing Magazine, and he's got a website, thenetworkmarketingmagazine.com, you can go to. And I had a phone call from Doris Wood, who ran the MLMIA, which stood for the Multi-Level Marketing International Association, towards the beginning of the year, and she said, "Peter, are you doing a show with George Madiou?" And I said, "No, Doris." And she mentioned that George, and I remember that George and I did a couple of radio shows together for the MLMIA. And I said, "I know George, but I just never really connected with him because, he's busy doing my thing or his thing, and I'm busy doing my thing, and, kind of running on parallel tracks, if you will, helping out the home-based business arena, but we really don't connect very often." So she said, "You should." So I said, "You're right." So when I spoke to George, we really connected. And as a result of that, we do this radio show every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for those people that are keeping score. And you could always find this on buildingfortunesradio.com/TNMM, standing for, you guessed it, the Network Marketing Magazines. Or you can go check for George's last name on our radio show. Madiou is spelled M-A-D-I-O-U, so it's real simple if you think it through. M-A-D-I-O-U. So George Madiou, thanks for being here on the radio.
Well, thanks so much, Peter. It's great being here. I just want to get right into it because my guest today, he and I have been friends for a little while, and he is one of the most interesting guys and one of the most helpful guys that I know in the network marketing space. His name is Fred Raley. It's Fred the Submarine guy, Raley. And it caught my attention the minute I met him from the very beginning. And so welcome, Fred. Glad to have you here.
Thank you, George and Peter. I sure appreciate it. Nice to be here.
So first of all, I love the story behind the stories. And so give us the short version of how did you become Fred the Submarine guy?
Well, I had a Navy career. I graduated from the Naval Academy in 1976, and Admiral got me into the submarine force. So I was driving submarines around for 24 years, and when I got out, I started doing some network marketing. And every time I got on the phone and mentioned, that I was on a submarine, somebody might call me and say, "Were you the submarine guy on the call?" So after about 5 or 10 of those, I thought, man, I'll just get submarineguy.com. But it's got a little virus in it right now that my programmers are working on. So but it'll be up and running here shortly again.
That's great. Yeah, it caught my attention. It's really difficult to get that catchy name, and you well deserve it. You have a tagline: average people doing simple tasks, making good money. Tell me what that's all about.
Well, first of all, have you got a smile on your face?
I do.
Whenever you're talking to somebody, even if it's just on the phone, make sure you have a smile on your face, because people can see that through the phone and detect it. That's number one, or the phone or the microphone if you're doing a Facebook Live, for instance. But yeah, that's the way it goes. You basically just contact people and introduce yourself. The biggest rule I go by is get people to know, like, and trust you. Don't just bang them with your MLM or bang them with your affiliate program or anything like that. And the sooner you can get them to know, like, and trust you, the sooner you can offer them something. And you might buy it, but if you don't know what their wants and needs are, you better learn that too.
Sure. So let me ask you this, Fred. You got into network marketing, right? There's not a. I wouldn't imagine that there's a big list of prospects when you're on a submarine. If you're part of a network marketing company, how did you get into network marketing?
Well, I was on America Online when they first launched. Using a 300K modem.
Yeah.
And I met a guy down in Florida. He said, would you like to make some more money? I said, sure. And he introduced me to a company that was out of my state in Arkansas, which is where I'm from. And I thought, hey, this is, the world is talking to me now. The universe is talking to me. So I joined that company, and we put about 400 people in there just based on his, little training. Unfortunately, it was a free sign-up, so about 395 of those people just signed up for free and didn't do anything, But the 5 of us who were buying things started making money. So that's how I got into network marketing.
That's interesting. So you remember that guy's name?
Yeah. I don't even know if he's still alive because I hadn't been in touch with him for a while, but it's John Tardogno, and he was from the east coast of Florida.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what I find extremely interesting is that you have an enormous following on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube. You do an enormous amount of videos, and you do a lot of training. Tell me about how you got into that training aspect to the network marketing industry and supporting the network marketing industry.
Well, I learned how to build my email list, right? I mean, everybody teaches that. And, I'd send an email every now and then, that kind of thing. And then I got one of my mentors saying, why aren't you sending an email every day? So I started doing that. Actually, I started doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I ramped up to every day except for Sunday. And, got a lot of response out of that. But then I met a few guys online about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, who were doing videos, and they said, hey, this is the best way to get somebody to know, like, and trust you. And I'm like, that's one of my lines there, get people to know, like, and trust you. So I just kind of watched them for a while and thought, well, I'll make my own videos, I guess. And the first one I made, I recorded for 30 minutes and forgot to hit the recording button. So, I tell that to people all the time. I said, don't worry about, mistakes that you make, because the more you make, the better you're going to become. And that's exactly what happens. The more videos you make of yourself, or, a lot of times, like, you can make PowerPoint kind of presentations with, graphics and stuff right out of Gmail. And said, if you don't want your face on there, that's okay. Just talk through the microphone and keep rolling your slides through and everything. So that's the videos really get people to know, like, and trust you far faster than email does now. But I still do emailing too, and that's one of the ways I drive people over to my website. My group on Facebook.
So what do you use for the videos? Do you use Facebook Live? Do you use YouTube? How do you do that?
Well, here's a good way to do it. Basically, get a little camera that goes on the monitor on your computer, and then you can just sit in front of your computer and make Facebook Lives. Now, you can also do it with your phone, You know how your phone has a recording on it?
Sure.
And you can upload them to Facebook that way. But the next thing you do is you download your own video, and if you want, you can put a starting header on it or an ending header or whatever, or just leave it like it is and then upload it to YouTube. And then you can link to it from your blog and introduce people to it on Twitter or Instagram or anywhere else. So see what you're doing. You're taking one piece of content and putting it all over the place and driving people all over the place with it so they finally can get into your Facebook group. And they'll get to know you, like you, and trust you.
So, and I've seen this in action, and I mean, the content that you offer, the people that are following you, is incredible. I mean, how do you keep up with the content and the tips and the guidance that you end up giving to the people that are following you?
Well, I used to keep notes in a notebook, on white paper with lines on it. But what I've started doing recently is put 3 to 5 little bullet points on a 3x5 card. And I do it vertically, and then I just put that up in front of my monitor, so it'll be things that I want to, bring out to people, and I put a little title on it. And, you can talk 1 or 2 minutes about each bullet, or maybe 3 to 5, depending on how well you know the topic. But I also, where do I get my content from? I listen to a ton of mentors, including the 2 guys that are on the phone today. And if I can learn something from them, I start making a 3x5 card and say, now what did I learn here? And then maybe I'll add my own, bullet points to it and that kind of thing. So the more you make, the more you'll get.
And that's interesting, because isn't that true with anything? I mean, you didn't, like you said in the very beginning, you don't just drive around a submarine without really getting totally immersed in it. And that's the same thing with network marketing. I mean,
yep.
This isn't. If somebody wants to take it seriously, and they treat it like a hobby, they're not going to be proficient. And one of the things that I like about what you do is that you're not just another pretty face on social media. You're a guy that has done it, has learned from others, has passed on what you've learned, and then a year and a half later, you took the mode from emails to videos, and today that's what our network marketing millennials and younger folks, not old fogies like you and I, are really looking for. They want to get the short, sweet, tell me how it's done. And that's how they learn. So you've adapted, I mean, really, really well with not only today's technology, but with today's tips and tools and everything else.
Yep. One thing you have to remember too about today's technology is you don't own it. And the reason I say that is the only thing you really own is your email list.
Yeah.
So, although that's the way I started, I keep doing that as much as I can, even with videos, and I'll drive them over to a short lead capture page that says, how would you like my report I just wrote, 5 ways to get 25 leads per week, or, whatever you're offering. And to get on your list, or to get the report, they just put their name and email address in, and boom, they're on my autoresponder, and they get my free report, and we go from there.
So let's just talk about that for a minute. If a person that's listening to this now, or the recording, wants to get on your email list, what do they have to do? Where do they go?
They can just go over to fred77.com. I bought a couple of domains with Fred in them, like Fred33, Fred 44 Fred 55, whatever they are. But I got Fred 77 redirecting over to my Facebook group, so you can join my Facebook group there.
Okay, very good. And what do they get when they end up joining your Facebook group?
Well, they'll get a nice welcome email, and I got my About page, and it has another link in there where they can get on my email list. And then, of course, I do videos daily, sometimes twice daily. I welcome new people on. The other thing I've learned to do is to make graphics and, kind of make your post stand out, and sort of like the headline or something. But when you use little places like canva.com, C-A-N-V-A, yeah, you can make graphics that fit in Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or wherever you want. And, I'm not a real graphic artist or anything, but I know how to type and I know how to make colors. So that's all I do with those graphics is just, make some good sayings and messages and things like that, type it in, and, I might make this font bigger, might make this one like script, put a red background on this word, put a yellow background on that word. You can do all kind of stuff with Canva. It's just amazing. And I don't even have the free version or the paid version. I just use the free version.
Yeah, it's a great program. I got a couple more questions to ask you, but we're going to take a break, and I'm going to pass it back to Peter. And I'll ask you those questions in just a minute.
Sounds good. Back. I'll be here.
Yep, we'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to Building Fortunes Radio. If you sell a product or service, then you should check out PM Marketing's NetworkLeads.com. Just visit www.networkleads.com. For over 18 years, PM Marketing has helped distributors build their home-based businesses through lead generation, website development, automated email delivery systems, and sales training. If you're looking for a way to increase your skills and increase the number of people that see your product or opportunity, NetworkLeads.com can help. To learn more, visit www.networkleads.com. Ask about their lead management system, capture pages, personalized websites, MLM training, humongous blogs, the humongous classified ad network, Building Fortunes Radio, or their webinar schedule. NetworkLeads.com can be your one-stop shop for everything you need. And now, back to our show.
And we are back. Peter Mingils here with George Madiou and Fred Raley, R-A-L-E-Y. You want to check them out for sure, fred77.com, before he forgets to give that out again. But if you go to the networkmarketingmagazine.com, you can also hear this radio show as well as it is on buildingfortunesradio.com/TNMM. And I am really enjoying this because I know Fred does put out a lot of emails and a lot of tips and stuff like that, and any one given tip could really make a very big difference. And I'm sure if you're on his mailing list, you're going to get all kinds of tips that are going to be able to help you effectively build your business. So, George, I appreciate you bringing Fred, and back to you.
Thanks, Peter. Yeah, and that's a really good point, Peter, because in our industry, the network marketing industry, one of the reasons why people don't succeed is that they're not plugged in. They may end up finding a company that they're really interested or passionate about, their products or whatever, but the leverage of the proper tools can accelerate the growth in somebody's business. So, Fred, let me ask you, when somebody gets on your mailing list, you're giving these tips out on a daily basis, and so what is it that they should anticipate when they get onto your mailing list, and is there any strategy behind taking advantage of one or more or a bunch of different suggestions that you have or have had in the past?
Sure. Well, one of the things that I've learned is you have to have a good following to make a big success in any MLM. Otherwise, you're building it one by one and you still don't know how to market. So learning how to market is the first thing you need to do, and you can easily do that using a blog. And either write articles or write lead capture pages with it. Basically, put up a headline and a opt-in form from your autoresponder, and you start building your list. And then you introduce them to the product that you like the best in your company. Maybe it's a weight loss product, or maybe it's a skincare product, or maybe it's a service that provides leads, or, there's all kind of good products out there that you can promote either as an affiliate or an MLMer. But if you don't have a list, who are you going to, pass them off to or get to buy them? Because once a person gets on your list, it's 5 to 12 times that you need to at least contact him in some way, shape, or form for him to get to know, like, and trust you. Now, that number is, I got that a long time ago, that 80% of your sales will be made between the 5th and the 12th contact. Now, that number may be up to the 5th contact and the 20th contact by now because of social media, but if you understand what I'm saying and get the message, you can email that prospect daily. There's your first 5 times, right? If you do it 5 a week. And you don't have to bang them into them, this wrong word probably, but you don't have to jam it down their throat to join your company or join your product or buy your affiliate program. You need to find out what their itch is, or what their pain points are, or what their biggest problem is that they're staying up at night. And one of the groups I target is kind of like George, is I target people who are at or near retirement age, because most of those have not enough savings to even buy a new car or, make it a year into retirement. And if they don't, we can teach them how to do that by building up their list and marketing some products or services. So that's kind of where I try to turn people, is to, hey, don't join the network marketing company and try to jam it down everybody's throat. Terrible way to market. But if you learn to market before you join your network marketing company, or maybe you're just taking the products from the company, that's fine, and you want to learn how to market, that's the best idea, is to learn how to market and learn what your target audience looks like, so that you'll know what his pain points are. And that's how you write your ads. Write your ads to target his pain points of, losing weight or things like that. And always relate it to the benefit of the prospect instead of just the features of your product. So I know I kind of went round in a circle a couple of times there. Did that make sense?
Yeah, totally. So when somebody comes on brand new, they heard about this guy, the Submarine guys, right? And somebody has recommended you and your service. Is there a way of them, stepping back in time and maybe catching up with some basics that you offer a newbie?
Oh, yeah. One of the things that my autoresponder does is archive all of my emails. And every now and then I'll look at the archive and I'll, pull up an old one and use some concepts from it. But you can also give the people the URL for the website that my autoresponder keeps all those emails on. And there's, 600 or 800 of them there, I think, that you can, access. The other thing I do, too, is I frequently use very simple topics on my blog, and then I drive people over to the blog. And, it may just say, hey, have you got your email list set up? Let's get you started, in marketing. First thing you got to do is have an email list, so you'll be able to market to people that are on your list. Here's how you, get your form from your autoresponder. Here's what you want to do is give something free away. And, walk them through that simple process in something really short. You can't overwhelm them. And then you go, and teach them how to develop more and more kind of lead capture pages based on the pain points of their prospects and where to advertise them. You send them, you can send them to any social media and, advertise your URL over there to start building your business, to start building your list so you can build your business.
How do you recommend a brand new person starting off to build their list? That's
critical. Yeah. That's a good question. I would I always recommend that they get a blog for themselves. There's a lot of services out there, lead pages, ClickFunnels, that what can sort of build your funnels and your lead capture pages for you. But the one problem with those, and I'm not knocking them at all, they're great companies, but if you don't know how to write properly to attract people to you, you're just throwing money at it, right? And you can do that with your blog. And a blog, all it is a website which is hosted on your host, which maybe is $3 or $5 a month. And you can make as many lead capture pages as you want and test your headlines. That's one of the things I teach, and like step 2 is go and test your headlines until you find one that brings in like 2 or 3 times more than the other, kind of thing. One of the examples I gave where I changed, one word in the top line, the second one I changed a word in the second line, and then I changed a word in the third line. The third iteration pulled twice as much as the first one. I thought, oh, there we go, throw away those first 2, and then you start with the third one, in my case, as your main, headline, and you do the same thing over. You try to improve your prospect, your list, the acceptance of that, and grow your list faster. Because, if you'd like to have twice as many as everybody else, that's the way to do it.
So what I'm hearing you say is you have to avoid pride of authorship. If it's not working, tweak it, and don't get married to the first line that you've written, or the second, or you just keep on testing. Is that right? That's
exactly right. I fell into that this looks so great trap, early on, and you go, gosh, there's no leads there, I better advertise somewhere else. And you go over to another safe list, or you go to another lead source, or you go to Pinterest or Instagram or wherever, and you find out, it's not drawing there either. Well, guess you can't do MLM on Pinterest. And then you try something, and finally you go, damn, this must be a bad headline. So yeah, the testing is really critical. And I mean, when you say testing, it sounds kind of like an engineering term, right? Like you got to become an engineer to do this. But no, all you got to do is, like you said, delete one word and put a new word in. My best headline ever was drawn around 85%. It had 4 words in it. 4 words. So this is not a lot of rocket science, Okay, so you got us hanging. What was that headline? Ooh, good question. I can see it in my mind, but I can't repeat it. It was something like, oh gosh, I'll have to go look it up. I just can't remember all those. One of the words, which I kind of cheated on the number 4. One of the words was $100 with a $sign and 2 zeros after it, and I counted that as one word. But
yeah.
But it's very simple, and that way you can put big letters, large font letters in your header, and grab the attention of your prospect even faster. And a lot of people try to put a lot of stuff on their lead capture pages, like bullet points and pictures of their product or pictures of their ebook. Give up on that. I mean, they may be good, but again, you're going to have to tweak each one of those. Why not just put up a headline that you can test over and over and find a good one and build your list and send the bullets out, in an email, or put them on another blog page that your email can drive people back to.
Very good. Well, Fred, I'm gonna have to have you back. I would recommend everybody to sign up for Fred's list. It is Facebook, and I'm gonna have to have you back because you are just a wealth of information and guidance, and that's what we're all about, is to be able to help those people that really, really, really want to work their business, that they don't feel as though that they've bought themselves a network marketing lottery ticket. There is work involved here, but it could be really a lot of fun, and especially if you start making a lot of money. So, Fred, I really appreciate you being on with us today, and I will absolutely be having you back. Thank you.
Thank you much, George, and we'll get to the rest of your questions whenever you want.
Okay, good.
And one last time for Fred, where would people go sign up for your newsletter, please?
If they go to www.fred, F-R-E-D, 77, just the number 7.com, fred77.com, that'll redirect them over to my Facebook page, and they can request to join my group there. And that's, boy, I could go on Facebook groups. That's the way to market on Facebook, is with a group. They're free. And Facebook starts putting more contacts into them once you show a lot of interest and show a lot of activity, which is what we're generating.
Excellent.
Sorry.
Okay, good. So
I was going on with some more training there.
Yeah, good stuff. No, that's great stuff. So this is the beginning part. Excellent. So we're going to catch everybody next week on Building Fortunes Radio. George Madiou, thanks very much. Fred Raley, thanks. And make sure you go to fred77.com. See you next time.
You've been listening to Building Fortunes Radio on buildingfortunesradio.com. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us out every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the designated Building Fortunes Radio segment with Peter Mingils. Be sure to check out the buildingfortunesradio.com website for our featured segments. It's been our privilege to have you listen in. At Building Fortunes Radio, we wish you the success you deserve and are willing to work for. So spread the word, tell a friend, join our newsletter, and go make a difference in your world.